So good evening students, welcome back again in this series of most important topics and predicted questions for 2024. Okay, so as if you have gone through our previous videos, I have started with polity and almost most of the topics are covered. If you have not seen, please go through the previous videos on YouTube. And so today we will start with directive principles of state policy. This is one of the important topics again. So we have done with historical acts, preamble, federal unitary features, then executive, legislature, fundamental rights, judiciary, and now we are on to DPSP. And today we will try to complete the fundamental duty also, if possible. So as you know, this is a revision class. Revision in the sense, these are the recurring topics, and after completion of this, we will go to current affair related topics. Okay. So current affair related topics in my sense are will be more important. Please look forward to it. And for now, we will start with DPSP. So have your notes with you. If you find anything new, please add it in your notes. So directive principles of state policy. So they are mentioned in part 4 of the constitution. There are some conceptual points we will see, which articles and how the amendment procedure has been evolved since the start of the constitution. Okay. Let us see one by one conceptual points. Okay. So Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has called this the DPSP, the directive principles of state policies, as the novel features of the constitution. Okay. So this is a completely prelim based idea, because many of the times we are seeing some fundamental questions being asked. Okay. For example, last year 2023 paper, you might have seen they are asking about natural justice. So in such cases, we need to know what our constitution makers make of the constitution. Okay. So Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has called DPSP as DPSP. Okay. We are talking about DPSP as novel features. He has also called it as conscience of the constitution. Conscience, inner part. Okay. Soul. Helps in determining constitutional validity of law. Of course, if any act is going under judicial review in Supreme Court or High Court, DPSP can be one parameter to determine the validity. Other than DPSP, fundamental rights as well as fundamental duties, all can be used for determining constitutional validity. Okay. Further, goals, and we all know these are directive principles are what? They are not included in the fundamental rights. Okay. They are included in the directives to be given to the state, how to follow your government, how to run your government. As good as they can be used as manifestos by different parties. Okay. So that to woo the voters, that we will do that, we will do this. Okay. So these directive principles were not added in the fundamental rights because we didn't have the resources at that time. Okay. So as time went by, few of the directive principles are now included in fundamental rights. For example, right to education is now included in the fundamental rights. So as we will move forward, more and more DPSPs will get converted into rights. Okay. So these are goals and objectives for the government. There are few rights here also which are other than fundamental rights. Then guidelines for the government, as I have already discussed you, that these are the guidelines for the government. For example, government can use this as a guideline book, as a digest, okay, to run the government. Socialist, Gandhian, liberal, intellectual. So we can very easily categorize DPSP into these categories. Socialist, few are socialist in nature, few are Gandhian in nature. For example, village panchayat. Few are liberal intellectual. For example, UCC. Okay, we will see. Next, we will go through some articles of DPSP related articles quickly. So Article 36 defines the state, which is same as the state defined in Article 12 of the fundamental rights. Okay, so this is done in previous class. Article 37 says DPSPs are non-enforceable, unlike the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are enforceable by court of law. These you cannot go in the court and say my DPSP is being violated. Okay, so DPSPs cannot be enforceable by the law. They are government's duty to enforce them. So if a government says that we will include these directives in our policies, and if they are not, then it's your turn to choose that government or not. So basically, these are not for us, these are for the government. So these are non-enforceable, fundamental for governance, and they are duty of the states, of course. So This is done. Article 38. So Article 38 is from where this DPSP starts. What it says? There are two parts of Article 48. First it says justice. So there shall be a justice in terms of social justice, economic justice, and political justice. So as you know, this line is straight away taken from preamble. Okay. Then next comes minimum inequality of income. Okay, this is the next part, minimum inequality of income and eliminating the inequalities of status and opportunity. Okay, so they are talking about minimizing the inequality of income. They are not talking about eliminating. That's must not be possible. That may not be possible. But eliminate inequalities of status and opportunity. This is possible. For example, Article 16 we have seen. We are trying to eliminate equality of opportunities, inequality of opportunities. So this is one part. So why I have made it in bold is that this was not included in the original constitution. This is from 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay. In 39, Article 39, it talks about, there are 6 parts in it. So first is livelihood. It talks about equal livelihood for men and women. Okay. Then it talks about resource distribution. Second part talks about resource distribution. Resource shall be distributed properly so that in C there is no concentration of wealth in the hands of few. So this 39B, 39C, these are the most important parts of the DPSP. Okay, most of our policies are dependent on these two. That's why we have seen some conflicts in between DPSP and fundamental rights in courts. We will see that later. Okay, so 39B, resource distribution. 39C, distribution such that there is no concentration of wealth. 39D talks about equal pay for equal work, equal pay for men and women, equal pay for men and women. 39E, this talks about work should be as per their age, as per their strength. Okay, it should be with respect to their age and strength. And last one is 39F regarding child health in work. Okay, so again this part is again added by 42nd Amendment Act. That's why it's bold. You should know what are the DPSPs present in original constitution and what were added after the constitution. Then next is Article 39A, that is free legal aid. You must know NALSA, Lok Adalat. So the NALSA Act, the Legal Service Authority Act, is because of the DPSP added in again 42nd Amendment Act, not in original constitution. So free legal aid for the required people. Then comes Article 40, village panchayats. There shall be village panchayats. This has already been implemented by government, for example, in 73rd, 74th Constitutional Amendment Act through local bodies, local self-government. So village panchayats are there. So this is also one of the DPSP. Now you can see, if you want to segregate them into socialist, Gandhian, intellectual, then you can do it. For example, minimizing the inequality of income. This is purely socialistic. This is the socialistic principle. I am giving you some idea. Okay, so you can distribute them according to your own understanding. Then eliminate inequality of status opportunity. This is also socialist. Equality of livelihood to men and women. This is more of a liberal intellectual type. Okay, resource distribution, no concentration of wealth. This is again goes to socialist. Equal pay for men and women. This is also liberal intellectual as well as socialist. According to age, so free legal aid. Free legal aid for people, this is also socialist. Village panchayat, this is a Gandhian. Okay, so this is a Gandhian thought. So based upon your understanding, you can categorize them. 41. Article 41, it talks about right to work, right to education and right to public assistance. You know, right to work, we have achieved it through Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Generation Scheme. Okay, Manrega is there. Then Article 42 talks about the conditions of the work. For example, paternity benefits, maternity benefits, etc. So we have Maternity Benefit Act also, which will give you 26 weeks off. So there are a few acts which are being implemented on the basis of these DPSPs. Okay, I am just revising the DPSP for you. These are the topics involved in that act. For example, Article 43, it talks about living wage. Work should be such that there is a opportunity of a leisure. there shall be cottage industries in rural areas. Again, this is the Gandhian idea. Cottage industries in rural areas, living wages, leisure, these are intellectual, liberal intellectual. Then comes Article 43A, participation of workers in management activities. Okay, so workers should be taken into consideration because they are also the stakeholders. So they should be taken into consideration while making management decisions. So this was added again in 42nd Amendment Act. 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act added this. Then comes 43B, right to create cooperatives. Now this has already been converted into fundamental rights. If you have seen our yesterday's video, 19C, right to freedom 19C have already included cooperatives in that, but before that it has also included cooperatives in DPSP under 97th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so these are cooperatives. Then Article 44, Uniform Civil Code. We have criminal codes uniformly applied all over the country, but civil codes are different for different religions, as you all know. So uniformly applying of civil code, this is one of the directives. So there was a debate in Constituent Assembly whether to bring it in actual right or let us keep it in directive principles and then state will decide whether to implement it or not. So as you know, the current dispensation is in favor of UCC, and few of the state governments have already included the uniform civil codes. For example, Goa is the first one, and recently Himachal Pradesh has also, Uttarakhand government has also implemented UCC. So we will see some parts of UCC in our current affair class because it is in news. So let us go, we will go fast here. Article 45, early care of children. For example, during early ages, 0 to 6 years of age, early care of the children, this is also included in DPSP. Then Article 46 for backward classes. Backward classes means SC, ST, OBC. Okay, all the backward classes, what provisions can be made by the government and its policies. For example, reservation is one of the application of the DPSP. Then level of nutrition. For example, no intoxication, no liquor, etc. These are also directives. These are again a Gandhian thought. Then comes Article 48. It talks about new challenges, new technologies in animal husbandry. So this is liberal intellectual, and no slaughter of cows. This is the Gandhian. Just go through your Constitution Barrack, okay, and see what language they have used there. Next is Article 48A regarding environment protection. So environment should be protected. This is again a directive given to the state. This is again added by 42nd Amendment Act, not in original Constitution. Article 49, protection of monuments of national importance. Monuments of national importance. You need to protect monuments of national importance. Okay, there is similar thing in fundamental duties also, but there it is mentioned you need to protect public property, not items of national importance. National importance monuments are covered under DPSP. Public property, saving of public property is given in fundamental duties. Then comes Article 50, independent judiciary. Judiciary shall be independent from the executive. We have seen since first class, independent judiciary from the federal characteristics of the government, then judiciary, then executive. We have seen plenty of times. And Article 51, international peace. There shall be no fights but arbitration, just friendly relation with all the countries, and we should respect the international laws. Okay, so this is the international law. So Article 51 is done, and these are the DPSPs. Now if you go 51A, these are fundamental duties. Okay, we will see them in next slide. Just check. Okay, so there was a dispute between as I have told you, there has been dispute between fundamental rights and DPSP. Which one should the court prefer? Okay, so there was some fights. We will see one of the cases of Supreme Court to have some idea. For example, Champakam Dorai Rajan case. This was a famous case. Question has been asked on this case already in UPSC examination. So in this case, what had happened? This is not the exact situation that took place. I am just paraphrasing it. So what happened? a person went into court claiming that he has been devoid of getting admission in spite of getting higher marks than the person who got the admission. Okay, so what was the case, that the person who got the admission was from backward class and he was from the general class. So his claim was, now this is the condition in 1951. Okay, no reservation, means prior to this condition is prior to introduction of Article 15(4). Okay, means this what is this for? This is for reservation in education institutions. This was not there. So prior to that there was a case. So what had happened? The man went into Supreme Court and said, I have been deprived of my right of getting admission. So the fight was between Article 15. What Article 15 says? Article 15 says no discrimination. No discrimination based on race, religion, caste, sex, place of birth. Okay, but this discrimination was based on caste. Okay, because the person who didn't got admission was on general category. So fight was between Article 15, Article 16(2), again public employment, same things, versus what was the claim of the state? State claimed that we have been given directives under DPSP, Article 46, for upliftment of backward classes. Okay, upliftment of backward classes. Now this was the case. You don't need to go into more details regarding the case. The thing that government did then was to introduce Article 15(4). Introduce Article 15(4) in the Constitution and said that reservations, for example, state, no one can stop state from making specific provisions for backward classes, and the case was solved. So this was the first case, Champaikam Dorairajan case. Then there were few other matters also regarding 39B and C. Various, for example, various land issues were happening at that time. So if you know Article 13B and 39C, if you have seen those articles, we have already talked about. So Article B and C, resource distribution. Resource distribution should be such that no concentration of wealth. So basically land was taken away from the zamindars and given to the farmers. Okay, this was the land reforms at that time. So many cases went to the Supreme Court regarding this. So what the complainant said, that we had a fundamental right of property at that time, because right of property was not removed from the Constitution unless 1978. So at that time they had right to property. And the government's claim was, we have been given directive principles to divide distribution of resources in such a way that there is no concentration of wealth. So this was the government's answer. So in this case, what government did? Government brought in 31C. Okay, so this came in 25th Amendment Act. If you know, 25th Amendment Act brought in 31C, which says that if in case of application of Article 39B, 39C, if in implementation of Article 39B and C, discrimination done on Article 14, 19 shall not be counted. Basically, Article 14 and 19 will go out if there is application relating to 39B and C. So if resource distribution is there for proper distribution to reduce the inequality, then Article 14 and 19 will not be considered. That was the case, and Supreme Court upheld it. Okay, so this has also solved. Then, okay, we will not go into much detail. But after this 25th Amendment, the government again came up with some amendments which show that it has complete power over the Constitution and can amend each and everything. Okay, basically what government did, one step ahead it went and said that Article 31C will cover all the DPSPs, all the directive principles of state policy, and Article 14, 19 will not come into picture. Article 14 and 19 will not come into picture. All the DPSPs are above Article 14 and 19. This was the government said. But Minerva Mills case rejected this argument and said that what is the present situation. Minerva Mills case now states that only Article 39B and Article 39C can be implemented by getting away with Article 14 and 19. Okay. Need not to go into Article 14 and 19. These have basically supremacy over Article 14 and 19. So by this discussion we come to know that fundamental rights and DPSP, there shall be no fight that who is, both are on same level. It's just that you can amend the constitution but not the basic structure of the constitution, and by doing that you can implement all the DPSPs. That's all. So this was the fight between fundamental rights and DPSP. Now we'll go to fundamental duties. Article 51A. Fundamental duties were not included in the original constitution. They came from 42nd Amendment Act based on recommendation of Swaran Singh Committee. Okay. So there are fundamental duties, cherish the nobles of our great leaders, follow the constitution, you should abide by the constitution, then brotherhood, etc. There are many such things, saving of public property, etc., maintaining brotherhood, excelling in your own field of experience, then scientific temper, etc. These are many fundamental duties which are mentioned. Just go through them from your constitution. But the point to note is that Parliament can enforce them. Few of the fundamental duties can be enforced by the Parliament. For example, you should abide by the constitution, respect the Indian flag. There is one fundamental duties, and Parliament has introduced some laws regarding respect given to the flag. You cannot throw flag here and there. Okay, there are some acts regarding that. You can be punished. Then fundamental duties are only available to citizens, not to foreigners. Available means need to be followed by citizens, not foreigners. Now Swaran Singh Committee has mentioned that paying tax should also be included in fundamental duties, but this was not to vote. Voting is also not a fundamental duty. Duty of citizens towards society. So fundamental duties are duties of citizens towards the society and not the state. They are not helping the state by doing the fundamental duties. They are helping the society, and they are statutory in nature. Of course, if they are mentioned in constitution, means they are statutory in nature. So let us solve some questions. Which of the statements correct regarding fundamental duties? Not correct regarding fundamental duties. Fundamental duties can be implemented through some or the other legal provisions. Constitutional validity of law. The fundamental duties can be extended to foreigners living in India. To uphold, protect sovereignty is a fundamental duty. So this is also correct. This is also correct. This is also correct. Foreign fundamental duties cannot be extended to foreigners. They are only for citizens. 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. This is regarding to right to education. Added the articles to which of the following provisions of the Constitution. So 86th Amendment Act added article fundamental rights. It added article 21A, right to education. In directive principles, this added I think article 39F, if I am not wrong. Oh sorry, let us check. It had added one of the, yes, article 45. Okay. And in fundamental duties, it had added article 51A J. If I am not wrong, it's J. The last article, okay, in fundamental duties, last article has also some implications via 86th Amendment Act. So 1, 2, 3, all are correct. Question number 3. Which of the following directive principles were added through constitutional amendment acts? Now we have seen what were in the constitution and what were added after the constitution. To promote equal justice and to give free legal aid to the poor. Free legal aid to poor was added as 39A from 42nd amendment. Okay, so this is a amendment added through a constitutional amendment. So this is correct. To protect, improve the environment and to safeguard forest and wildlife. This was also added through constitutional amendment. Article 48A. Same 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. 42nd Act. Then to minimize inequalities in income, status, facilities and opportunities. This was also added through Article 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. To raise the level of nutrition, standard of living. This was included in original constitution. This was not added. So answer is only 3. This is Article 47. Since independence, many laws have been enacted by the state to give effect to various directive principles under Part 4 of the Constitution. In this context, consider the following statements. The Wildlife Protection Act and the Forest Act give enactment to Article 50. Article 50 talks about independence of judiciary. It has nothing to do with forest and conservation. This wildlife protection conservation, this is related to Article 48A. Okay, not Article 50. So this is wrong. Khadi and Village Industries Boards give effect to Article 43. Yes, this is correct. Article 43, I think clause C says cottage industries in villages, in rural areas. Cottage industries should be developed in rural areas. So this is correct. 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act give effect to Article 40. I have already told you Article 40 is village panchayat. So 73rd Amendment Act is regarding panchayats. So this is also right. Both statements are correct. This is wrong. Which of the following landmark cases Supreme Court described that the Indian Constitution is founded on the bedrock of balance between fundamental rights and DPSPs? So we have already discussed. It was Champakam Dorai Rajan case. In India, right to work can be considered as. Now we all know fundamental rights means rights included in Part 3 of the Constitution. Constitutional rights means other than Part 3. Other than Part 3. Whatever rights are there, those are constitutional rights. Legal rights means by law. And natural rights means by birth. Now right to work, this is mentioned in Article 41, I guess. Okay. So basically this was in DPSP. So DPSP forms part of Part 4 of the Constitution. Part 3 is fundamental rights. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is also wrong. Answer is constitutional right. Okay. Because this is included in Part 4 of the Constitution. Directive principles of state policies are positive in character. Yes, we have seen yesterday fundamental rights. Mostly fundamental rights are negative in character, but DPSPs are positive in character. What do you mean positive, negative? Negative means restrictions on the state. Positive means they are enabling state, asking state to do certain things. Okay, that is positive. So all the directive principles are generally positive in character. They do not place restrictions on the legislative executive function of the state. Of course, they do not place any restrictions. That's why they are positive. So answer is A. Both statements are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Implementation of directive principles of state policy depends on. Implementation of directive principles of state policy depends on activist judiciary. Now we all know they are non-justicable. You cannot go into court asking that my DPSP being violated. So this is wrong. And effective opposition in the parliament. Okay. Effective public cooperation. Okay. Resources available to the government. So the most appropriate answer will be resources available to the government. As we have already said, directive principles have provisions which can be included by a party in their manifesto, that we will do certain things in health, we will do certain things in education, etc. But the problem is funds, resources. If resources are not available, that will not happen. So first thing is resources, then comes public cooperation, then comes opposition, etc. But resources is the main problem. So implementation of directive principles of state policy depends most on resources. They depends on each of the above. Active judiciary is also there, effective opposition is also there, public cooperation also there. But most important thing is resources. Which of the following directive principles of the state policy is yet to be implemented by the state in India? Uniform Civil Code, separation of judiciary from executive, this has already been done. Right to work, Manrega, already been done. Equal pay for equal work for both men and women, there are few articles, laws regarding this also. Uniform Civil Code is yet to be implemented. It is implemented in certain states, for example Goa and UK, Uttarakhand, but not in complete India. So it's still under discussion. This has not been implemented yet. Fundamental duties were incorporated through 42nd Amendment Act. This is correct statement. They are intended to serve as a reminder to every citizen that while the Constitution conferred fundamental rights on them, it also requires them to observe basic norms of the democratic conduct and behavior. Yes, this is what the fundamental duties are for. They need to remind the citizen that while enjoying their fundamental rights, there are some duties towards the nation. Okay, this is also right, this is also right. But is this the correct explanation for the first statement? Means if fundamental duties are not included in the original Constitution, but included through 42nd Amendment, both statements are correct, but this is not the reason for the first statement. Okay, so answer is B. Which of the two directive principles have been given precedence over fundamental rights of Article 14 and 19? So this we have already seen in the Champakam Dorairajan case, Minerva Mills case, that is Article 39B and C. 39B means resource distribution in a fashion that there is no concentration of wealth, and resource distribution. Okay, so to implement these articles, we can skip Article 14 and 19, means equality, this is our right to equality and right to freedom. This can be neglected while implementation of 39B and C. That's what the Champakam Dorairajan case said. Sorry, the Minerva Mills case said. Okay, so here we are done with fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles. So the basic thing here to note is that you need to go through the Constitutional Bare Act, the language of the Constitution written in fundamental rights, DPSP and fundamental duties. Direct questions are being asked directly by copying the statement from Constitution and pasting it in the option. So you should know all the articles from starting from Article 12 to Article 51. You should know them word by word. Okay, so that may be useful in your mains also. You can quote the articles. Okay, so we'll have a break and we will start with our next topic, that is constitutional bodies.